I bought one of these on eBay for cutting circles. Works real nice, actually. What it is, you put it down, you roughly line it up with where your hole is going to go. Got a little lock on it so it stays there. You can put a little oil on there. Make sure it slides nice and easy. And you score it around. Then you flip it over. Once you cut, you score the round circle on the one side, you turn it over, then you go along the back of your scored line and you tap it. And what this does is this fractures the glass. I see these guys on TV breaking into homes where they go ahead and they cut that circle and pop it out, but I don't know how they do it. Next you take, I like just using a cheap cutter, and you score off one side, you score off another, you cut little two sections. Tap it on the bottom, and you break that score. You keep doing that right around. You might have to tap on the circle a little bit. And there you have your circle. You might have to break off a little bit that's sticking out. And that's your circle. Now what it is I have a belt sander. I'm going to run this over the belt sander just to break the edge, to smooth the edge off a little bit and then break it. I got one of these 6-inch belt sanders, but what it is, you're going to find some of the glass sticking out. So you really got to sand it down, either by hand or whatever. Watch you don't cut it. Alright, I'll show you. Next we're going to drill a hole in it. Alright, next we're going to drill a little hole in this glass to hang it up. Now, one thing I found out about glass, the older the glass is, the harder it is to cut. But I go out and I buy these windows that I find anywhere. Single strength or 1/8 glass. You can't use tempered. Make sure there's no etching on the glass with the little lettering on it. That means it's tempered. No good. You can't cut it. But the newer the glass, the easier it is to cut. That's these little glass cutters they use. They use single strength glass. This is actually double strength, around 1/8 of an inch thick. They make it so easy. Now put a little bit of oil down. Now I got one of these ceramic tile cutters, drills. I got a diamond cutter one on eBay and that didn't work out. It broke the glass. Now what I got to do with this one is I put a little oil down. I'm going to drill it a little ways down. Not all the way through. I just want a little 1/16 and 1/8 inch hole in there, so I put some string through there. All right, I'm gonna start. Alright, I drilled a little ways down through on the one side. I don't want a big hole through there. I don't want a big 1/4 inch hole through there. I just want a little hole. So I'm just really using just a very little tip. I drill partially through the one side. Start on the other side. Put a little oil down. There. I don't even know if you can see it, but I got a nice little 1/16 of an inch hole through there. You got to go real slow with this, otherwise you'll crack out the glass, and then you got to start all over again. So you got to go real slow. This is real. Ruin some pieces of glass this way. All right, next I'll take the glass and I'm gonna clean it all off, get all the oil off of my hands, and then I'll show you my spin art setup. Art machine that I made. It measures the overall outside dimension is like 27 inches, whatever, you know, it's octagonal, whatever shape. And then it's around 8 inches thick, made out of basically 3/4 inch plywood. What I did here was, that's an old motor from a sewing machine, because it's attached to a rheostat. I'll show you a foot pedal, and it could vary the speed. What it is on top of the spindle that the belt was attached to, I welded two roughly 1/4 inch rods. Rods are the same length, so I got 4 rods coming off of there. On the end of it, I made a little out of aluminum, a little lock with a set screw on, so I can move it any size for the direction. That side coming down here, you can see the wires get down. I got a little foot pedal down there. Now I got it sitting down on a pedal. Only goes that fast. If I go faster, I can let it up and go a little slower. I can adjust the speed. You see it spins. It spins, and you can see where the splatter paint goes out to the side. I'll do a little spin art. Now, what I put the paint is, I get the, what it is, I buy, best I can do is semi-gloss, but acrylic paint, pure acrylic paint. I get the base from Home Depot, number 3, which is fine out, it dries clear, and the colors mix with it easier, and you get more vivid colors with it. So you use base number 3, pure acrylic, and it's only $16 a gallon, exterior, it's semi-gloss. I tint it, the tints, well, you can buy the tints. I got containers of the tints from where I used to work at, plus 2 at an estate sale. I got a whole container with around 16 squeeze bottles full of all of these different colored tints. Somebody had bought them for artists working, tinting it, acrylic and artists. Alright, so I got straight paint. I didn't dilute the paint any. I just put the tint in it. And I'm going to use the solid paint. I start out with light colors and then go progressively darker. And you just want to put a little stream down. You don't want a big glop. You can also go ahead, and I bought these bottles of gloss, but they were $6 of enamel at a paint place. They were originally $9. I got them for $6. But you can buy like this. I found the little spouts a little bit too big. I like the little spout from these. Alright, let's show you how this looks. First I started going. I start in the center, come out with the yellow. There's a little red. I'm going to go with all the colors. You don't have to. You play with this after a while. A little green. There's a little purplish. This must be blue. Now again, you can put as much as little as you want on there. You let it spin out, it's throwing the paint out. And when I stop it, that's what it looks like. You can see how the paint gets thrown out to the outer side. I mean, you can go more yellow, you can go all the colors you want. Toward the center, it splotches kind of big. You know, the farther out you go, the more it throws it out. But all right, that's just on paper. Like I say, I got this set up so I can go ahead and quickly stuck in another piece of paper. I got a little pin in the center. And go ahead. Here. Let me do another one where I just use two colors. But I'll stay further out this time. A little yellow. A little purple. Maybe I do this dab in the center. Yeah, that's a two color. So like I say, at times when you hit that splotch, you got to go real slow with the droplets, otherwise you get the big splotches. That's why it's nice with the paper, because I can keep practicing and practicing. But you want to get away from the splotches. Alright. Alright, I got a piece of glass clamped in that I had cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six-sided piece of glass. Basically, I have it centered in there. First thing I did was wipe it down with alcohol on a rag. You hit it a little bit more. You want to get so the paint to stick better. Try to get everything off. Plus, I hope this is good. It spun slower. She likes the design spun slower, and with rather than putting the paint on when it's going around, we played and she liked it better when we just put a swirl like that on. And spun it at the slower speed. What it is she doesn't like as much paint, and she wants to see through the glass more. Alright. Go like that with the red. And we'll see what that looks like. A little glue. A little green. There's this big one that we spun out. Let's see if you can see the colors through it. Does sort of look good. Actually, this is the back side of it through the glass, but it really shows up shiny. Either way, it looks very good.